From the WEAC studio in Oxford, you're watching the award-winning Pigskin Roundup on TV 24.
Good Friday evening and welcome to Pigskin Roundup here on TV 24 and WOTM, presented by Team 1 of Gadsden. I'm Gerhard Mathangani, joined by Anna Catherine Alderman. The show has a bit of a new look, but a lot of the same flavor, and we'll get into both a lot as this show goes along. Once again, this is the Pigskin Roundup 2021. After a one-year hiatus, we are back once again giving you all the great football material out of the high school level here in the East Alabama community and around the state of Alabama. We have several new things that we talked about earlier, but then also several old things that are coming back this time around, and we'll talk about a little bit of both of those things. One of the things that we'll talk about is what this show will be moving forward. What this show was for 17 years was led by John Holder and Mickey Shadricks. They took this show from the radio onto television and built a monster. It was an award-winning television show, and we would not be here right now if it wasn't for all the hard work that they put in for so many years. I was lucky enough to be on board, riding shotgun throughout this entire process as the show grew and grew and grew, and now we're at a point here in 2021 in Pigskin's 17th season. We want to also, once again, shout out the founding fathers, so to speak, of Pigskin Roundup, John Holder, Mickey Shadricks. We've had a great time together. They are still, to this day, friends and mentors, both inside and outside of this industry. And of course, we would not be here, as we said, without the work of these two. The show will be different, but the soul of this show remains the same. We still want to focus on all of the beautiful parts about high school football here in the East Alabama area. The players, the coaches, the communities. These things matter to us, and I know it matters to you all as well. We have both been able to, both Anna Catherine and myself, and all of us that work here have been able to understand what Pigskin is about, and we once again take that very seriously. The show looks different. However, the soul of the show looks the exact same. Shout out to our friends, John Holder and Mickey Shadricks, for making all of this possible here on TV 24 and WOTM. Now let's talk about some of the new things. There's some new things that are going on behind the scenes, but also some new things in front of the scenes as well. One of those is Anna Catherine Alderman. Anna Catherine comes to us from the East Alabama community, and we'll let you get to know her a little bit better right now.
Yes, so I'm from Anniston. I grew up here. I went to Donahoe, graduated in 2017, and then I went to the University of Georgia where I studied journalism with an emphasis in sports media. So I'm really excited to be back here covering high school football for Pigskin Roundup, and I'm doing social media, so you might see me on the sidelines posting about all of the games going on around here. 100%.
So Anna Catherine Alderman already doing a great job in this area, talking about high school football, meeting with coaches. Obviously, these last 2 years have been very different because of everything that has impacted our community, the state of Alabama, and the entire world with COVID-19. But she does a great job. She'll be our social media connoisseur. There's several different ways to follow the show and to watch this show as this season rolls along. Of course, right here on TV 24 and WOTM. We will also come to you through a couple of streaming platforms, both on our YouTube live page, and we will also link that to our Facebook page as well. So follow Pigskin Roundup on Facebook if you have that. Also on YouTube. So those of you who do not have cable television, you can watch us online via YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to tell your friends. All you have to do is follow the Pigskin Roundup Facebook page, and you will see both of those live right now on your phone, your tablet, your computer, everywhere else. You also stream it also live to your television as well with smart TVs. Talked about social media earlier. AC is our social media guru, and this is how you can get in touch with us on social media.
Yes, so Facebook, that's where you can watch us live and find some other good stuff. Pigskin Roundup. Follow along on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at pigskin_roundup. And if you need to send us an email, it's pigskinroundup1@gmail.com.
Exactly. So find us on all our social media platforms. We will be using a lot of the material from social media here on this program. So if you see AC out, if you see any of our crews out at football games, we'll ask you to send in your stuff, and we'll be able to put some of those on our social media platforms. If you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or even old-fashioned email, send those things to us. We love your pictures. We love your videos. We'll try to get as much of those on the show as we can. We talked about some of the things that will stay the same. One of the things is giving you all the scores here in the East Alabama community, and we will do so right now. Our scores are presented by ERA King, and I'll tell you what, we start with probably not the best team in the state, but probably one of the better teams that has ever taken the field in the state of Alabama's history. The number one, Thompson Warriors, go to Lamar Field in Oxford and knock off a very good Oxford Yellow Jacket football team. It's a good team that suffered some losses last year. However, they return a good team, a good program. You'll see highlights of this game coming up a little bit later. Thompson 55 and Oxford 0.
Up next, Etowah travels to Gadsden City, and Gadsden City gets the shutout at home, 34-0.
Next up, Leeds. No problem with Sylacauga. Sylacauga obviously going through a coaching change in the offseason, but is the Leeds Green Wave, number 7, putting up 40 on Sylacauga and doubling up the Aggies.
Lincoln got the loss last year, but they got the win this year. They went into Southside and won 14-6.
Good win there by the Lincoln Golden Bears on the road. Meanwhile, another team out of the Talladega County area getting a little bit of bragging rights. It is Munford over Talladega, 35-28. We love seeing these inter-county rivalry games. Munford with the bragging rights for the next year with a 35-28 victory over the Tigers.
Number 6, Central Clay County gets the shutout 35-0 over Chilton County. This is only the second time that these two teams have played.
Jacksonville, how about the Golden Eagles going up north to play St. John Paul Catholic? A 41-0 win. There's been a lot of rumblings about this Jacksonville football program, a lot of programs that are in that same region. Jacksonville looking the part in game 1. Coach Clint Smith and the Golden Eagles go up north and get the win, 41-0.
Another team looking to get revenge for last year. Cleveland County lost last year, but this year they win against Ohatchee at home, 43-28.
Our Mark Everett Kelly was at that game. We'll have highlights of that game coming up a little bit later in our program. Our game of the week is Anniston and Welborn, two teams out of the Calhoun County area. They met at Welborn last year. Welborn got the win, and this year at Anniston. This was a tight game early on. At halftime, it was a one-score ball game. Anniston turned it on, though, in the second half. Final score, 38-7. The Bulldogs getting the win over the Panthers.
Sachs traveled to Sylvania and got a big win on the road, 42-32.
Meanwhile, Weaver still searching for its first win in quite some time. Douglas comes to Weaver and wins 43-6. Of course, a new coaching change over there at Weaver. We expect this team to be improved as the season goes along, but they fall tonight. Final score, once again, 43-6.
White Plains traveling to Ranburne, and unfortunately for White Plains, the Bulldogs pulled out 28-26.
Final score in that one is a close football game there. Meanwhile, a shutout game and a little bit of history for the Donahoe Falcons. Donahoe 25, Pleasant Valley 0. It is the first win over a Calhoun County public school since the 2006 season for the Donahoe Falcons. A nice win at home for Coach Mark Sanders and his bunch.
Number 3, the Montgomery Catholic Knights get the win at home and a shutout against BB Comer, 35-0.
Meanwhile, Westbrook Christian, this game happened yesterday all over Coosa Christian. Two schools from the Etowah County area hooking up, but it's Westbrook Christian. Drew Knowles once again returning a very good football team. They put up 52 points in a rout over Coosa Christian. The Warriors start the season 1-0.
Another Thursday night game, Winterboro goes to Vincent last night and gets the win, 18-16 Bulldogs.
An impressive win for Raglan on the road, 40-0. They get the big win over Valley Head. 40-18, I should say, in that matchup. Raglan, the Purple Devils, a nice win on the road over Valley Head.
Somerton Christian going on the road to Victory Christian, and Victory gets the win at home, 27-7.
Meanwhile, Asbury and Gadsden hooking up over in Asbury, and Asbury gets the win over the Bulldogs. Final score in this one, 33-0. The Rams getting the best of the Bulldogs in week 0.
Woodland going all the way over to Fayetteville, and they And the Wolves get the win, 21-12.
Meanwhile, in our AHSAA Kickoff Classic game, this game was down at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. I called this game last night. I'll tell you what, Hanley, the defending 4A state champions, they look ready once again to defend their state championship and possibly win it again. 55-21 is the score of this one. We'll have highlights of this game. 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. You do not want to miss the Hanley Tigers going 1-0 to start the season. A big win over a really good Guntersville team last night. So we'll have highlights of that game and several others coming up as we move along here on the Pigskin Roundup this Friday night to start off the high school football season in week 0. Speaking of highlights, we will have highlights of the Oxford-Thompson game coming up next here on the Pigskin Roundup.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team One Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested in a long-term employment
what was the
opportunity,
Summerton Christian
come
Victory
in and see any of our Team One
Summerton
dealerships
won?
for more information. So check us out now and apply online at team1connect.com.
Okay, wait.
No.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home.
Got it.
After looking at all the options, we
Wait,
chose
so
to work
Summerton
with
Christian
ERA
did
King.
win.
Right.
ERA
So
means
it was
easy,
okay.
responsive,
That
and
threw me
attention
off.
to detail.
No, you
ERA
had the
King
score
made
right.
the
I just-
entire
Okay.
process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the
Cutters.
way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in
Coming up
all
on
areas.
Indicators.
With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank,
Hey, you have
so
Oxford-Thompson
stop by.
highlights?
Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always
Thompson highlights. And then you have the coach,
Hey guys,
Sam
you drive a
Adams.
truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Pigskin Roundup here on TV 24, presented by Team One of Gadsden. We have several great sponsors. One of them, Cutters Pizza and Wings. And I'll tell you what, they brought in some pizza today, and it is phenomenal. AC, I'll tell you what, it's a very good company, and they make a very, very good pizza. The wings are also phenomenal, and the pizza was great tonight.
Yeah, I'm always down for pizza.
Exactly. They do such a great job, and we certainly thank them for their sponsorship here on the Pigskin Roundup in the 2021 season. Once again, our sponsor for this year's show is Team One of Gadsden. We also have the Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor on the ticker for you throughout the entire show tonight. We promised you highlights, so we're going to get some highlights to you. Well, the first highlight we'll go to is the one over at Lamar Field in Oxford. Of course, lots of great storylines going into this one. The guy you see on your screen right here, Traquan Fagans, he actually played at Oxford last year, transferred to Thompson. Meanwhile, they're also starting with the first season under head coach. Oxford is under head coach Sam Adams. Doesn't dilute all the excitement today over at Lamar Field in Oxford. And it's Thompson, though, getting off to the fantastic start today. Give 6 to Ryan Peppins, just short there, down to the 2-yard line, but they clean it up 2 plays later with a touchdown there. Amari Bolden on the receiving end from Connor Harrell, early 7-0 lead. A little bit later on in that first quarter, Thompson on the move again. Nowhere for Harrell to go with the football. Great coverage down the field and an excellent play on the ball there. Good pickoff by good pickup there by Amari Carroll for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. However, Oxford can't do much there with their possession. Very next possession for Thompson. This is what makes him so dangerous. Harrell hits Jalen Ward, a 47-yard strike, hangs on to the football right there. A couple of plays later, big running back Brandon Franklin gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Thompson now takes a 14-0 lead. You got to know Coach Mark Freeman loving the way his team is starting out early in this one. Still in the first quarter, Thompson, Ryan Pepins, once again, this time, 21 yards, 21 points on the scoreboard. An early 3-touchdown lead in the first quarter for the Thompson Warriors. It's not just the offense getting it done, it was the defense. Quarterback Sam Harrell met at the line by Alabama commit Jeremiah Alexander. His defense looks the part, and they are the part, and as is the offense. Once again, up top, Harrell, Ward. Second touchdown of the half, 35-yard pitch and catch. He had a commanding 4-touchdown lead early on in the second. They go on to win, as we said earlier, a final score of 55-0. The defending 7A state champions came in as a top 5 team in the nation, and they looked the part today. It's one of those things where they could have spent all the offseason reading their press clippings. They came to play against a very, very solid Oxford Yellow Jacket team today. Oxford will bounce back from this. This is one of the best teams not only in the state this year, probably the best team in the state this year, but also one of the best teams in the state, period, in the last maybe 15, 20, 25 years. Oxford will bounce back. We expect them to have a really good season. A really tough task today for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And Oxford is a place, AC, that you went and visited earlier this week, and you got a chance to talk to the team, kind of see how they are as they get ready for this 2021 campaign.
Yes, so I went to practice earlier this week. It was really interesting to see what they're working on, how they're doing it, and I got to talk to the coach, and here's what he said.
We're just trying to raise our effort level and our energy level from where it was last week. You know, I think we really, you know, we talked a lot about playing a good team, and we're going to play a lot of good teams before the year's out. So all we really focus on is us. And obviously, we scout the other team and, you know, come up with, you know, what we think is a good plan and try to attack certain formations or certain alignments, certain personnel. But really, we're just trying to make sure we're moving forward as individuals and as a team week to week.
Coach Sam Adams really with high praise for his football team. You know he has to be proud. They did compete. They didn't win the game, but it's one of those things where they competed really hard throughout the entire game. You and I were both there for that first half. This Thompson team is a really, really good football team. And we understand that, you know, obviously the defending 7A state champions, and this is a matchup last year that was a good game early, but you saw the strength of Thompson late in the football game last year. Oxford lost so many great players, and you can just go down the line of so many good players. They lost to graduation, a couple of them to transfers, as you saw earlier in the video to start out. However, this is an Oxford team that I expect Anna Catherine will regroup throughout the course of the year. And as you kind of measure with the team, and as you saw with the team, this is a team that I expect, and I'm sure you expect, to bounce back as they go into region play.
Absolutely.
Once again, how you watch Pigskin Roundup coming up here all season long. You can do it a couple of ways. You can do it through your terrestrial television by TV24 and WOTM. We thanks to our friends over there giving us a statewide platform. Also on YouTube Live and on Facebook Live. What we'll do on Facebook is we will post where you can actually watch the video on YouTube. So if you're not following Pigskin Roundup, follow Pigskin Roundup. You'll be able to get that live notification every Friday night, and you'll be able to see all of your favorite teams and all your favorite coaches and your favorite communities all do battle all season long here on TV24 and WOTM in the Pigskin Roundup. Well, coming up next here on our program, we will have more scores and highlights. Stay right here.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
And welcome back to Pigskin Roundup here on TV24 and WOTM, presented by Team One of Gadsden. Anna Catherine, we had a lot of great football games today. Some games were actually messed up a little bit by the weather over in the Montgomery area, and we had some of those games yesterday that could have been messed up by the weather, but they actually ended up not being. But what happened on the back ends, we ended up having good weather because all the rain came down, kind of cooled the temperatures down, and we had a great matchup in our AHSAA Kickoff Classic that was seen right here on WOTM yesterday. It was Guntersville and Handley, two teams that were ranked in the top 5 of their respective polls. Handley, the defending state champion, coming in at number 2 in the state. Meanwhile, Guntersville, after a great season last year, only one loss in the playoffs to defending or to the eventual runner-up, Pleasant Grove. But this is how everything shook out yesterday. It was all Handley in the early going. This is Cannon Kyles, and keep your eye out on him. He had a great football game yesterday. Early 7-0 lead, and then a 14-0 lead after that touchdown run by Tay Meadows. Some good plays from Guntersville on offense and on defense, but they could never string it together to actually get points on the board. There you see a great play out both on offense and on defense. But still in the first quarter, 4th and long, this is when you know it's your night. Handley a punt formation. The punt breaks down. Kyles hits Quay Lewis 63 yards to the house, up 21-0 early on. So you have an offensive touchdown, and you have a special teams touchdown. Hey, might as well add a defensive touchdown as well. Brian Joyner just rips this ball out of the hands of Logan Pape to the house and made it 27-0 early on. The onslaught continued in the second frame. Lewis again, this time on special teams, once again on a punt return. Big play, returned it back 46 yards down to the Wildcat 13-yard line. Meadows back up was Jay Haynes. He picked up right where the senior left off. A 14-yard touchdown scamper here. 34-0 Handley in this one. And this might be the play of the game. Watch as Kyles hits Maurice Cameron. Great footwork by the sidelines. Doesn't go out of bounds. Then dodges 2 tackles. 12-yard line is where he would wind up on that big play. That sets up this run for Kyles. 11-yard touchdown run. Now, even the young players that got into the game made a difference. This is Nahum Askew, 7-yard touchdown run. That gave Handley a commanding 48-0 lead at halftime. Guntersville did pick things up in the third quarter. Logan Pate capped off a drive with the touchdown run of 25 yards here to put the Wildcats on the board. Then All-State quarterback Cole McCarty. Keep your eye on this guy. Just a junior, had a great season last year. Watch him air it out. Pitch perfect pass there. And that ended up setting up that touchdown by Logan Pate. He had 2 scores on the day for the Wildcats, but it was all Handley Tigers today, or yesterday. Elijah Goss led the team in rushing, 109 yards overall. Nice run right here to keep this drive moving. And Handley sophomore quarterback, as we talked about earlier, Cannon Kyles, very impressive. 9 of 10, 186 yards, including that perfect pass to Jamarque Lewis, the 39-yard touchdown. Handley rushed for 195 yards, threw for 190 yards. This is about as balanced offense as you can get. Big congratulations also goes out to Handley head coach Larry Strain, earned his victory, career victory number 150. Big win, 55-21. That now makes a 6-game winning streak for the defending 4A state champion Handley Tigers. Handley once again looking very, very solid. That was just one of the games in our what we will continue to have over the course of the season, the AHSAA Games of the Week. That was the Kickoff Classic game. Game that counted yesterday, and a Jamboree game tonight. The game that you saw earlier, Bob Jones and Dothan. But Anna Catherine, we have a lot of great games on the slate here coming up over this next few weeks. These are the games that are coming up, and I'll tell you what, Anna Catherine, this is a really good slate. Still some games to be determined towards the later part of the year, but if you like good high school football, this is the channel for you.
Absolutely. You can find all these games here on WOTM. If you want to connect with us on social media, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at pigskin_roundup. And our Facebook is Pigskin Roundup. Send us an email, pigskinroundup1@gmail.com. Send us your pictures, videos, everything.
Exactly. We'll be able to put those on and all your highlights, your practice highlights. Oh, we also know that flag football is going on, and lots of teams in and around the state will play flag football. Some of the ladies will suit up and play that. We are interested in football of all sorts here on Pigskin Roundup. And once again, Anna Catherine will keep a close eye on all of our social media pages, and we will have all those, try to intertwine them throughout the show, but definitely on our platforms there. So be sure to join us on social media. Well, coming up next here on Overtime, we will talk Welborn Panther football. They took on the Anniston Bulldogs in a big game today over at Anniston. It is our game of the week, and we'll talk about it coming up next.
Hey folks, I just want to remind you all that Team One Automotive is proud to be a part of Pigskin Roundup, proud to be a part of this community, and we want you on our team.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team One Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested in a long-term employment opportunity, come in and see any of our Team One dealerships for more information. So check us out now and apply online at teamoneconnect.com.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Pigskin Roundup, presented by Team One of Gadsden. Our scores are presented by ERA King, and we'll start tonight with, once again, the number one team in the state and defending 7A state champion. As you saw earlier, all over Oxford. Final score in this one, 55-0, as the Warriors start the season 1-0.
Gadsden City Titans get the shutout at home, 34-0 over the Etowah Blue Devils.
Meanwhile, the Leeds Green Wave doubling up Sylacauga 40-20, leads an impressive win at home here today.
Lincoln on the road at Southside getting the win, 14-6.
Meanwhile, Talladega and Montford hooking up, and the Lions get the best of the Tigers. The final score in that one by a touchdown, 35-28.
Number 6, Central Clay County playing at home, only the second time they've played Chilton County, and they get the win, 35-0.
I think the most impressive win of the day so far is this one. Jacksonville all over St. John Paul II on the road, 41-0. The final score is the Golden Eagles start 1-0.
Cleveland County getting the win at home over Ohatchee, 43-28.
Our game of the week, and you'll see this in just a bit, the Anniston Bulldogs all over Welborn. This was a tight game early, and then Anniston really exploded in the second half, 38-7 your final score.
Sachs on the road, and the Wildcats get the win over Sylvania, 42-32.
Weaver still searching for its first win in a long time. The Douglas Eagles came into town today and knocked off Weaver. We'll have highlights of that matchup coming up a little bit later in our program as well.
Ranburne gets the win at home against White Plains, 28-26.
Really close ball game there as the Bulldogs pick up that victory. Meanwhile, some history made over in over at Donahoe, I should say. Donahoe with its first win over a Calhoun County public school since the 2006 season, 25-0. The Falcons picking up the victory.
Another shutout tonight. The number 3 Montgomery Catholic Knights beating BB Comer at home 35-0.
Meanwhile, the game that was played yesterday between two schools out of the Etowah County area, Westbrook Christian, the number 9 team in the state, knocking off Coosa Christian, getting some bragging rights there. 52-16 is your final score.
Another Thursday night game. Winterburg goes on the road to Vincent last night and gets the win, 18-16 Bulldogs.
Raglan with an impressive win over Valley Head. Valley Head, a traditionally very rich program. Meanwhile, Raglan goes on the road today and gets the win over the Tigers. The final score, 40-18.
Sumited Christian on the road against Victory. And they get the win, 27-7.
Meanwhile, Asbury and Gaston. Gaston playing tough today, but Asbury picks up the W, 33-8.
Woodland on the road at Fayetteville. Fayetteville Wolves pull out the win, 21-12.
And in the game you saw the highlights of just a moment ago, head coach Larry Strain picking up victory number 150 of his career, 55-21. The Hanley Tigers knocking off Gunnersville last night. That was the game played at the Crampton Bowl in the AHSAA Kickoff Classic, one of several games that will play on WOTM throughout the weekend. But then also WOTM will also have several games throughout the course of the year. We will have those games for you live right here on WEAC and WOTM. If it's a situation like today, we had to wait out the rain a little bit, had to wait out a rain delay over in the Montgomery area. The lightning caused a slight delay in our program. However, we were able to come back on and be able to get you the scores and the highlights. So keep in mind, as the season goes along, every now and again we'll get these pop-up showers. So if there is a rain delay in our game of the week, we will come on after our program or after the ball game like we did today. We should say in that ball game, it was Dothan and Bob Jones playing in it. We'll have replays of that game coming up over the weekend as well. We talked about our game of the week, AC, and our game of the week featured two teams out of the Calhoun County area. These two teams played a really low-scoring game today, but the Anniston Bulldogs and Weber Panthers played a good one today over Los Mosby.
The 4A battle kicks off in Memorial Stadium as the Anniston Bulldogs take on the Walter Welborn Panthers to kick off the season. This is the 13th season for Coach Jeff Smith, and he's looking to take the Panthers back into playoff contention after losing to the Fife Red Devils in the second round last year. Meanwhile, Bulldogs coach Rico White wants to bounce back from a 4-7 season last season, and to beat the Panthers tonight would be a great start for them. First quarter starts and the Panthers force a fumble to take over on downs, and it goes nowhere. Bulldogs, midway through the first quarter, Cunningham to Thomas in a 30-yard double pass for the only Bulldogs points in the first half, 6-0 Bulldogs. Bulldogs back on offense in a tip drill. Sandlin throws an interception. Amarion Curry gets the ball back for the Panthers. First half comes to a close, and despite putting up 0 points on offense, the Panthers hold the Bulldogs 6 points into the half. Anniston comes out on top, though, and with a big second half, 38-7, Anniston over Walter Welborn.
Really impressive win by the Anniston Bulldogs today, and I'll tell you what, this is an Anniston team that we've heard a lot of noise about throughout the course of the offseason, AC, and it seems to me that they were able to kind of get back into, I would say, midseason form early. Last year, it took them a little while to kind of get the pace going. I played a really good game, a really close game last year against the Welborn Panthers. It was a tight game. However, they had 5 turnovers in that matchup on the hill at Walter Welborn. This time, a slow first half, but they really buttoned things up in the second half. You got to be really impressed how Rico White's team played today.
Absolutely. You know, I'm always up for a good second half game, and when someone comes back in the second half, it's always an impressive win.
The Bulldogs today were looking really, really good, looking really strong, and it's, like you said, it's a team we talked about might be a sleeper in that region. It's a really strong and competitive region. We will follow that region. We'll have region roundup to let you know all the regions that we'll be following throughout the course of the year. But Anniston getting off to a strong note in a non-region contest, a Cleburne County or a Calhoun County battle, I should say, between the Bulldogs and the Panthers. Meanwhile, we'll stay in Calhoun County for our next game. A team coming into Calhoun County is the Douglas Eagles taking on Weaver over to Bearcat country. Those Bearcats taking on a 5A team in Douglas in their home opener. First year for head coach Gary Ashley and the Weaver Bearcats. He's a guy that's been close to this program for a very long time. He's coached several sports, was an assistant coach in football as well. So he knows this program really, really well. These two teams meeting up today. Coach Brandon Lyles, meanwhile, looking to get back-to-back winning seasons also there for the road team. First quarter, you see Jonathan Fontaine taking it in for 6. They would miss the extra point after this, making it a 6-0 ball game. Fontaine getting it in, and Douglas gets on the board early. Meanwhile, Fontaine would run it again. A quick 14-0 lead there by the Douglas team. Meanwhile, Weaver back in their own backfield. You saw the miscue on the punt. Back over to the Weaver, back over to Douglas. They get a safety right here to make it 16-0 in the early stages of this one. And meanwhile, you continue to see the Eagles pouring it on today. Today as Douglas comes over to Weaver and knocks off the Weaver Bearcats. There you see the safety that made it 16-0 early on. Meanwhile, Lindsey right here passing it to Fontaine, and the hits just keep on coming for this man, bringing the score up to 23-0. Once again, a really, really strong game and a competitive game for Weaver overall, but it is Douglas that gets the victory on the road today, 29-0 after that touchdown right there. But it is final score 43-6. Douglas Eagles getting the win over Weaver. Weaver, once again, we expect this team to be competitive. It's a very tough region that they play in. However, they do lose tonight. Douglas gets the victory on the road. Well, coming up next here on our program, we'll have more scores and highlights and much more coming up next here on the Pigskin Roundup.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Pigskin Roundup on TV 24 and WOTM, presented by Team One of Gadsden. Special thanks to all of our sponsors, one of them being Cutters Pizza and Wings. They fed us here tonight, and I'll tell you what, they're, number one, a really fine sponsor, but they also have a really, really fine product as well. We had a couple slices earlier, so did our entire crew. I'll tell you what, it's really, really enjoyable.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't go wrong with pizza. It's always a good go-to.
Pizza and Football Fridays, always a match made in heaven. Special thanks to our friends at Cutters. Meanwhile, keep in mind the Ted's Carpet and Floor. There are sponsors for our ticker tonight. We'll have the scores all along, so if you miss it on our first segment or in the middle of the show, you can catch it all show long right there on the bottom of your television screen. Talked about regions the entire time today, but these aren't region games that are being played today. All non-region games this week and for a large part next week as well. However, we do want to let you know the regions that we'll be keeping up with throughout the course of the 2021 season. We have set 12 different regions that are the main regions that will be in this area, and we will start with our Class 7A Region 3, and this features Gadsden City out of the East Alabama community, Hewitt-Trussville, Hoover, Oak Mountain, Spain Park, Thompson, Tuscaloosa County, and Vestavia Hills. I can tell you right now, outside of another region that we will highlight in Class 3A, this to me might be the best region in all regions across the state of Alabama. Thompson, the number 1 team in the state, the defending state champion, and the number 5 team in the country on some polls. Meanwhile, a very good Hewitt-Trussville team, also a very good Oak Mountain team that made it to the second round of the playoffs, and of course the Hoover Buccaneers, who built a dynasty in a decade before. However, lots of teams have new changes, including Vestavia Hills with a new head football coach. This will be a really, really fun region to keep up with. Our next region out of Class 6A is 6A Region 7.
Class 6A Region 7 features Arab, Fort Payne, Oxford, Pell City, Scottsboro, Southside, and Springville. And we talked about Oxford tonight, and can't wait to see what they have for the rest of the season.
100%. Meanwhile, going over to Class 5A Region 4, Central Clay County, probably the prohibitive favorite to win this region. However, Beauregard, Elmore County, Holtville, very good football programs. Sylacauga is always also good. You saw Talladega today and Tallahassee, meanwhile, in that region.
Class 5A Region 6, Alexandria, Centerpoint, Corner, Hayden, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody, and St. Clair County, featuring a lot of teams in our area.
Staying in Class 5A, going over to Region 7, Boaz, Crossville, Douglas, Fairview, Gunnersville, who we saw earlier that won it last year, Sardis, and West Point. This will be a really fun, interesting region to watch as we also relate to it at the brackets a little bit later on in the season.
Moving on to 4A Region 4, we've got a lot of Calhoun County teams in this region. Anniston, Cherokee County, Cleburne County, Hanley, Jacksonville, Munford, and White Plains, all in this region.
Meanwhile, going still over to Region 6 in Class 4A, Dora, Asheville, Etowah, Fultondale, Good Hope, Hanceville, and Aniana make up this region. A really fun, interesting region to watch as we move forward in the year.
Moving to 3A Region 5, Glencoe, Hoax Bluff, Ohatchee, Piedmont, Pleasant Valley, Sacs, Walter Welborn, and Weaver. Also a lot of Calhoun County schools in this region.
Meanwhile, moving over to Class 2A Region 4, B.B. Comer, Fayetteville, Horseshoe Bend, Lafayette, Lynette, Ranburne, Randolph County, and Vincent.
Staying in 2A, Region 6, Cleveland, Gaston, Locust Fork, Sandrock, Southeastern, Spring Garden, West End, and Westbrook Christian.
And our final region, Class 1A Region 5, Donahoe, Ragland, TCC, Victory Christian, Wadley, Winterboro, and Woodland. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Pigskin Roundup tonight. We are back next Friday night at 10:30. Keep it right here for high school prime time coming your way next here on TV 24 and WOTM.
Hey folks, I just want to remind you all that Team One Automotive is proud to be a part of Pigskin Roundup, proud to be a part of this community, and we want you on our team.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive,